My dear officers of the IRS cadre and all those who are present here to listen to my lecture. I am Dr. Pranav Pandya, head of the All World Gayatri Parivar and Chancellor of the Dev Sanskrit University. I am a medical doctor. I have done my MD in medicine and cardiology, and being that I have studied very deeply the human behavior. We are today talking about the ethics, how to inculcate the values of the ethics in day-to-day life. Our progress as human beings is actually the outcome of our collective efforts, the sharing of insight, the knowledge and experience gained over generations. When we talk of ethics, it is manner or character of individual based on the practice of moral principles and code of conducts which let us decide which is right or wrong, what is good or bad. When we talk about ethics in business or work, it means principles and standards that guide the behavior in the world of business. Unfortunately, in the modern society, the organizational setup has been developed in such a fashion that we have separate professional and personal lives. And with this, we have separated sets of rules for professional and personal life. And needless to say, that the friction that we see in the life of modern executive or corporate personality is the outcome of this separation. To be a successful professional, one may have to make compromises on ethical and moral principles, but that same compromise usually degenerates our personal lives and happiness. So most of highly placed officials, corporate leaders have to deal with more and more friction and develop a split personality as a result of coping with or coming to terms with these situations on daily basis. As a result, they develop double standards and ambiguity in life. Stresses, high burnout rates, chronic illnesses in young age, alcoholism, ischemic heart disease, heart attack, anxiety and depression. These are the clear indicators of this friction. Does this mean corrupt business practices or work ethics combined with corrupt moral behavior and ignorance of values in personal life will smoothen out this friction? क्या मूल्यों और नैतिकता से समझौता करके कोई खुश रह सकता है? मैं समझता हूँ नहीं. The answer is an emphatic no. Because unfortunately or purposely, we as a human beings are amalgamation of gun and dosh. As Ramakrishna Paramhans says, doshe gune manus. Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans, this statement mentions us that the ज्ञान और अज्ञान, गुण and दोष just like जड़ और चेतन की तरह से हमारे जीवन में होता है. As part of our being, drives us to indulge in sense gratification, entices us up to us to defy all the ethical and moral norms for material gains. Another part inspires and empowers us to see things beyond perceived, have far-sighted discriminative wisdom, don't do anything which leads to आज का फायदा कल का नुकसान. आदर्शों के लिए कष्ट उठाने को प्रेरित करता है, तुरंत का लाभ नहीं देखता. अंतःकरण का यह देवासुर संग्राम चलता ही रहता है. यही जीवन मंथन है जिससे अंत में अमृत की प्राप्ति होती है. So the only way to reduce or overcome the frictions in life is to lead to the higher self, the inner voice, the guiding light of inner consciousness, which leads us to the adopt ethics and values in life. Here the importance of the ways of life as propagated by our rishis comes to the fore. Long ago the rishis realized and experienced the purpose of existence, the interdependency of all beings, and most importantly the underlying unity in diversity. The way of life propagated by rishis combines physical and subtle, jad or chetan, body and spirit, worldly gains along with spiritual attainments. Material success should be backed by inner calm. So like the inseparability of ventral and dorsal, like the coexistence of positive and negative, like the invisibility of magnetic north and south, similarly work professions and personal life cannot be separated. So we cannot compromise on ethics and values in work without compromising ethics and values in life. We are living in a fragmented, heavily dependent and self-centered society. And this is leading to facing severe financial, environmental and emotional crisis at par in society. Everywhere we can see this current scenario. The current money system is losing its value. Should we ask a question to ourselves? Yes. The debt-based currency system is so unidimensional that there is no scope of correcting it. With unchecked amount of paper money floating in market, it's a question of when rather than whether. This is something which all of you as IRS officers should think about. One more severe crisis which you must note today from me, and that is the crisis of faith, leading to crisis of values, professional integrity, reliability, community, and relationship amongst each other, relationship between husband and wife, relationship between the officer and the his assistant. This is leading to the crisis of faith. The humanity has arrived at a critical junction where the very survival is at stake. Our collective intelligence has to make a choice. We should all work together to make a choice. Most people are ready to abandon their values for piety, selfish gains. This is something which is very wrong, and this is leading to crisis of faith. The basis of the modern society is consumption. We are living in a consumption-oriented society, assisted by the advances in science and technology. Ye dil mange more, as you must have heard from the Coca-Cola advertisement, that we need more and more. We need more and more. The need is increasing, and with greed is so much that we need to have so many things in our lives. That consumption-oriented society. Not so long ago, India was a thriving, sustainable system where prosperity and progress was based on giving up rather than consuming down. देना, देवत्व हमारा स्वभाव था, कंज्यूम करना नहीं, लेना नहीं, अपरिग्रह, not परिग्रह, collecting the resources नहीं, बल्कि देते रहना. Can that system be revived again? Can we revive that to the value-based thing? But before that, let us talk about the factors leading to the crisis. The factors governing lifestyles in the days of yore was religion, spirituality, and nature. While since the 17th century, factors changed. 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, science, technology, and exploitation. Just listen to my three words: science, technology, and exploitation. These three they have gone hand in hand together. So science defines life as a manifestation of biochemical and biophysical matter, while spirituality is defined as life as manifestation of supreme consciousness, and it has definite purpose and order. This is something which is to be understood by all of you. Spirituality and religion are two different words. I'll explain to you. The scientific reasoning does not recognize power of emotions, compassion, human values, supramental capabilities, and higher levels of consciousness. Existence of none of these could be effectively proved in laboratory so far. So they say that if it is not proved in laboratory, why should we agree to it? This is what is the crisis today. The Indian way of life based on philosophy of Yajna, Satkarma, and Gayatri, Sadgyan. Righteousness is Gayatri, and giving, donating for the noble cause is Yajna. Our culture has been preserved since so many years. यूनानो रोम मिश्र मिट गए सब जहाँ से, पर बात है कि कुछ हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी. वी कीप ऑन सेइंग व्हाट इज दिस, व्हाट हस्ती क्या है हमारी हस्ती कल्चर, इंडियन कल्चर. ओवरलुकिंग दिस वैल्यू सिस्टम विच इज बेस्ड ऑन हायर डायमेंशन ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस, फेथ इन क्रिएटर, रिलीजियस कंडक्ट्स एंड सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन, राइचियस एक्शंस, सही कर्म हो, सत्कर्म हो, सेल्फलेस सर्विस, डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी विजडम, दूरदर्शिता, लीड्स अस टू द क्राइसिस वी आर फेसिंग टुडे. आइडियलिज्म इज डिस्कार्डेड इज इम्प्रैक्टिकल. आदर्श जीवन में नहीं उतारा जाना चाहिए. क्यों? इससे आदर्श से गरीबी आती है, पैसा नहीं आता. इग्नोरेंस अबाउट अवर रियल सेल्फ लीड्स टू क्राइसिस ऑफ फेथ. वी आर इग्नोरिंग अवर ओन रियल सेल्फ, एंड दिस इज द causing the split personality or crisis of faith. Lion in the herd of sheep. You must have heard this story about lion in the herd of sheep, and he was lost. Ultimately, another big lion, when he came in the herd of sheep, he identified him, and ultimately that is how, by roaring, by just letting him listen to the roar, he could understand that he is also son of the same lion, not the son of the sheep. And ultimately he identified himself. We have to identify ourselves first. We are the divine being, and we are the son of God. Moral values are the root, mind is the trunk of a tree, and the body is the branches. What we are nurturing is body, the branches. What we are nurturing is mind, trunk, but we are not taking care of moral values, spirituality, spiritual values, the roots. The roots should be first taken care of, first looked after. Where do you draw the line? Actually, in a metro, if you are living like Lucknow, like living in Delhi, like Bombay, like Bangalore, where do you draw the line? You cannot say that I am living at this level, I am living at this level. You have to have a very spiritualistic attitude, and the consumeristic attitude has to be combined with this together. Trust in establishment is declining. New generation has little respect for the old generation. You must have heard about the old the old people's home in which we try to keep our parents and our grandparents. Corruption is creeping into every aspect of life. Even this present government had to appoint a SIT for corruption. Corruption is so much creeped into each and every part and parcel of our society. So we have to take care of this. This is because of it is the time actually to induce human values and ethics in profession and in our day-to-day life. Each and every human being, each and every individual, not only you as officers, but all the officers, all the human beings, all the Indian people have to be made understood that they have to induce human values and ethics in profession. Professional challenges are the value-based issues are honesty, respect, and belonging. Honesty opposite dishonesty, respect opposite is disrespect, and belonging is the just opposite is you can understand that not ours. Ethical issues, tax evasion, wrong accounting, negligence of ecosystem. These are the ethical issues, and because this you are tackling every day. The tax evasion and the wrong accounting and negligence of ecosystem. So professional challenges are there. Can the value system work in the material world? Yes, it can. If we try to, the values can define the fundamental characters of a business, help create the culture you want. It can create a sense of identity with the establishment. It can reduce game playing, politics, and confusion. It can provide guidelines for managers and staff. It can provide guidance for acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. This is what is the values can do. What are the values? The need of values. They help us to distinguish between the desired and the desirable, delectable and electable. What is to be deleted in our life and what is to be elected in our life. Discriminatory wisdom, farsightedness, durdarshita, gayatri, your vision, your deep vision, agya chakra. These are the things which are needed. Honesty is reflected into professional life as integrity and authenticity. Truthfulness is reflected as a cooperation. Selflessness is reflected as charity. Responsibility is reflected as upliftment of others. And the positive attitude is reflected as a better utilization of resources, energy and wealth. We have to, in personal life, project these values so that they can reflect in our professional life. Karmas are like seeds. You have to wait before they bear fruits. The seeds, they take time to bear the fruits. Good or bad, karmas will take time to manifest. Theory of karmas says this is why people often indulge in sinful acts. They think that there will be no response immediately, so why should we worry about that? Why should we fear about that? Thinking no harm in immoral conduct, and ultimately while hiding the income tax, all these things, they are the main reasons for this. What is the pathway to success? Can spirituality and ethics integrated in work bring cutting edge? Number one. Number two, is it possible to maximize ethics and profits together in business by adopting spirituality? I think so that it can be. धर्म की जब परिभाषा करते हैं, धारणा धर्म इत्याहु धर्मो धारयति प्रजा. धर्म के तीन भाग हैं, ethics, metaphysics and spirituality. Without these three parts, ethics and नीति शास्त्र, metaphysics यानी तत्व मीमांसा और spirituality यानी अध्यात्म, इन तीनों को मिलाए बिना धर्म नहीं बनता. आज क्या हो गया है कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी रहित धर्म हो गया है सारी दुनिया में, और इसकी वजह से डॉगमेटिक हो गया, रिचुअलिस्टिक हो गया है. तो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द डेफिनेशन ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी विच फोकसेस ऑन दी संवेदना. मनस्थिति से परिस्थिति बनती है. दिस इज व्हाट इज द फोकस. व्हेन वी टॉक ऑफ स्पिरिचुअलिटी वर्सेस मटेरियलिज्म, in materialism the driving forces are greed, attachment and egoism, while in spirituality it leads to inner peace, अंतर जगत की शांति, self satisfaction, आत्मसंतोष, eternal bliss, देवी अनुदान, and immense wealth, द्रविणम. Money automatically comes and that money is utilized for proper resources, in proper resources. Spiritual attitude is the most effective preventive and remedial measures against all kinds of problems and stresses in work. Let us contemplate on this issue. How to spirituality, how to inculcate in day-to-day life. Spiritual principles are universal and pertain to pure consciousness and harnessing of inner potential. In fact, spirituality forms the core of all religions. If we understand this, then we will see in all religions the unity. All religions, they say the same thing. In spirituality in profession offers us a methodology to deepen our awareness of our inner being, and from this develop or change the self in ways that are conducive to the kind of corporate culture we want. The corporate culture what we want today is spiritual. Spirituality can be inculcated in day-to-day life in professional way, and in this the profession can be very honest and very yielding. Means it will yield you enough money so that it can give you resources. Adopt moral values. You will not be on the losing side. This is I'm telling you. Examples from past. Nachiketa, Yam Samvad. Remember Nachiketa, Yam Samvad. How both of them talked together and how Nachiketa came out with conclusion from Yam that what is Jivan Vidya, and ultimately he told him Panchagni Vidya. Ram Bharat at Rishimukh Ashram. Ram and Bharat Milan in Ramcharitmanas. You must have heard about that. That in that Rishimukh Ashram when they met, Ram gave the principles to Bharat and ultimately said, you are not needed for war, or you are not needed for accompanying me, and I am not needed in Ayodhya. You are needed at your place and I am needed at my place. These are the losing sides. Some person may understand, but they are not losing sides. Dhruv in forest. Dhruv studied and Dhruv did hard penance in the forest. And Swami Vivekananda asking Kali for a job. He went thrice, but he came back and said to Master Ramakrishna Paramhans that your Kali doesn't give me anything. When I go in front of it, it always asks me, it always motivates me to tell, मुझे ज्ञान दो, मुझे भक्ति दो, मुझे वैराग्य दो. He could not ask for money. The India's freedom struggle is spiritual. It was the spirituality, the Swami Raman Maharshi and Swami Sri Arvind Maharshi. These were the two persons who were behind the freedom struggle. My Guru, Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya, was also involved in this freedom struggle, and ultimately he converted it into Yug Nirman Yojana. And from Yug Nirman Yojana, this became a movement of about more than 100 million people all over, so that they also struggled for the wisdom, for the freedom, and freedom with wisdom. Contemporary example is Gayatri Parivar, Sangathan of the inspired Tyagis, Tapasvis, who are living with their families. They are not like Vairagis, but they are giving us something through their penance. We need few qualities need to be developed for a spiritual lifestyle helpful in professional life. I will talk to you about the 12 qualities. First quality is self-awareness. Realization of self-potential. Man has immense capability. Second quality is spontaneity, quick reflexes, no delay, be alert and decisive. The third quality is being vision and value-based. Visionary attitude towards future of organization with pinpointed aims and objectives. Visionary person is very much needed in the society as a professional person so that he can see his quality being developed. Fourth quality is holism. See the all views comprehended as interconnected holistic thinking. Fifth is the compassion, sympathy, empathy, concern for others necessary for team building. You are working as a team, so you have to have the compassion, sympathy and empathy. Celebration for diversity. The sixth quality is search unity in diversity. Accept and embrace others too. Don't ignore others. Take a teamwork together and work with that. The seventh quality is field independence. Have your own say. Don't follow the crowd or majority. Bhed chal nahi, balki follow the ideals and qualities which you have. Tendency to ask fundamental why. This is eighth quality. Constant reasoning and rational thinking. All the time ask yourself the reasoning and question. And ninth is ability to refrain. Learning the ability to stop yourself from doing something traditional. You have to train yourself. Traditional things not to be done. If there is some wisdom inculcated, then that is to be done. And the 10th quality is positive views of adversities. Make adversities your source of power. Yogi's outlook. प्रतिकूलताएं आए तो उनको अपनी शक्ति बना लीजिए. Humility, develop basics for self-criticism. Be modest and humble. Be just low profile and be very humble and polite. And last quality, 12th quality is sense of vocation. Selfless service to society at large, besides your system. If you learn this thing, then you will be able to understand that these 12 qualities will be able to make you a proper being. Practical spirituality for any corporate person, spirituality should be an essential part of day-to-day life. Lack of spirituality leads to many problems like ignorance, lack of vitality, lack of resources. 3 मेजर कॉज ऑफ मिजरीज, अज्ञान के 3 कारण हैं, दुखों के 3 कारण हैं। माय गुरुदेव सेज अज्ञान, अशक्ति, अभाव। और ये दीज आर द 3 रीजंस एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दीज 3 वी आर सफरिंग, ऑल ऑफ अस आर सफरिंग। Corporate excellence and spirituality needs elevation of level of the consciousness, and it leads to elimination of ajnan. Health will be always homeostatic besides family life, ashakti. A spiritual lifestyle starts appearing, expressing inherent power of soul. The jnana starts appearing. Practical approach to spirituality is USA. The word USA is explained as a upasana, self-awareness, invocation of the divinity within, doing every day this upasana. Upasana means proximity of God, proximity of ideals, qualities, good virtues. Sadhana means 24 hours regulation of your all the sensual desires and time and your monetary resources, your thoughts, self-refinement, self-restraint. Aradhana means service to society, selflessly, without thinking about anything. Do spare some time for Aradhana. USA, U for Upasana, S for Sadhana, A for Aradhana. Adopt Rishihood, Brahmin, by karma, not by birth. Leaders of organization should move towards blending the principles of Rishihood. Rajarshi, philosopher, king. We should try to become Rajarshi by this process of Rishihood, adopting Rishihood. Yuga Rishi Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya, who led an ideal life to impart teaching to masses, is the Acharya, one who walked the talk and who did everything, whatever he could to do to better the society, to make the society better, divinity in human being and the earthly atmosphere and the heavenly atmosphere on the earth. And I invite you to visit these institutions. The slides of these institutions are being projected to you, and so that you can see through this particular my lecture of mine. You are invited to visit an institution dedicated to dissemination of Indian culture all over the globe. 3,500 students are studying in this university, in which there is no tuition fee. We are just teaching all those courses which teach morality as well as the life management, human consciousness, yogic sciences, clinical psychology, Indian culture and tourism, theology, holistic health management, self-reliance, rural management, computer sciences, compositing and the animation. All these courses are offered. You can send your children, you can send your customers, you can send your the persons who come to you to have a glimpse of this particular university, which is situated in Dehradun, about half a kilometer from Shanti Kunj. The work which India has to do for humanity is a work which no other nation can accomplish. This is Sri Aurobindo's sentence. The work which India has to do for humanity is a work which no other Indian nation can accomplish. The spiritualization of whole globe, spiritualization of the whole human race, and this is what is the thing happening. 2014 has come at the advent of this particular period when the world is getting ready for a big change, and this big change will transform the India into the superpower. Will you participate in that? Thank you very much.